Hey everyone, this week episode 7 of Sailor Moon Crystal aired after 2 extremely long weeks, and I really enjoyed this episode. It really made Sailor Moon feel like a shoujo, which it hasn't felt mostly like before, and also in the 90s anime it really was lacking a little bit, although Magical Girl was everywhere. The romance aspect was really not felt, but this episode made it really good, and I felt some things, and I think that's what they were going for, so that's good. So let's start at the beginning. Uh, Usagi woke up in Mamoru's apartment, and that's weird, but she puts together that he is Tuxedo Kamen, and it appears that Tuxedo Kamen has a waterbed. It's what it sounded like when she was getting off the bed. It sounded a little like watery. I was like, that's interesting for a college or a high school student. But anyways, we got to see some flashbacks from Mamoru, which is amazing because I really love the way they were drawn. We got to see his parents, kind of. Of course, they didn't have faces because parents don't have faces. But I was starting to think, like, if his parents were still alive, this would be a whole different thing. He wouldn't have amnesia and he wouldn't be soul searching right now. So, did they need to die? I kind of think they had to. He survived, which means he's supposed to live, obviously, like the Earth protected him, or destiny protected him, I guess. But it seems like the parents had to die for this whole thing to come about, because without him soul searching, he wouldn't be looking for the silver crystal, he wouldn't be Tuxedo Kamen, and Sailor Moon would be a little defenseless, a little bit, without him, and that's weird. Anyways, we get to hear him call her Usako, and that's adorable because that's his pet name for her. Like every episode after season 1 and 2 in the 90s dub, and it's good. It's good times because she also calls him Mamo-chan for the first time, and that's adorable because it's adorable pet names. um, we get to see Queen Beryl talk about a little bit about her flashback now, her past, and how she discovered Metalia at the D point. Um, not to be confused with the Kingdom of D or the Princess of D that we saw in episode 4. Um, we see Queen Beryl open up this gate that leads to her master, Queen Metalia, and in present day we see Queen Beryl give Queen Metalia some human energy, but it's not enough because she's looking for the Imperium Silver Crystal, the legendary Silver Crystal, and clearly she doesn't have that because no one knows where it is still. Um, Next, we get to see more brainwashing, and I'm starting to be fed up a little bit. No one or everyone is surprised every time they see someone get brainwashed. Like every time, like, oh no, this person's brainwashed. Like, no, obviously they're brainwashed. This has been going on for 6 previous episodes. Like, this isn't a surprising thing. You should, like, go to every DVD store and, like, check every single DVD because it's a common thing now. You should work on that. They shouldn't just wait for it to happen. Anyways, so the new brainwashing thing is called Dark, which is obviously a very fun DVD to watch. It's My Little Pony, pretty much. Not really, which is very reminiscent because to the Sailor V manga. Like, I can't remember the actual names, but every villain, there was like 5 villains, and every villain who was an idol, a music artist, was named Dark something, and no one was shocked that they were evil. It's very 90s writing, obviously, but I don't know, I feel like some change needs to happen there a little bit. Um, we get to see Ami use a Fine Pad, which is obviously an Apple product, tablet thing that has pictures of Sailor V in HD on it, like close up, which is really cool. And then we get to see Umino pop out of the bushes in a very aggressive way, and I'm starting to think that he grows up to become Dr. Tomo, or Dr. Tomoe, Hotaru's father, because they look very similar to me now. I don't know why. I didn't see it before, but it's true. Next, oh yeah, but like I said, we finally get to see more shoujo elements between Mamoru and Usagi, which I've been really craving because It's a shoujo. It's a love story. It's kind of the most epic love story, and we're finally getting to that, so I'm really excited. Anyways, um, um, oh yeah, now it's the battle scene. So Zoisite is the villain of this episode, and he kicks butt. He, well, earlier there's a scene where, Ami, Ray, and Makoto transform, and they don't really transform, it doesn't show it, which I thought was really cool, because that's like 15 to 20 seconds of wasted time, I think, but the way they did it was much better. But then we see Usagi transform, but that was okay because she asked for the clock to give her power, which is like a whole thing, so that was okay. But when she transforms, all of the people who are looking for Sailor Moon, all the brainwashed people, they start to attack her, and then Zoisite comes and like jumps on her and like gets her, and pretty much hijinks ensue because all of the inner senshi attack him, and he creates this barrier, and then Tuxedo Kamen appears because Usagi's dying pretty much because she's being choked, and Tuxedo Kamen comes in and punches Zoisite in the face. Punches with his hand, Zoisite's face. Good. I actually got shivers because I was so surprised. I was like, okay. Um, but yeah. Zoisite is super powerful in this episode, possibly too powerful, but whatever. Um, we got to see him form this big giant crystal, which was almost identical to the Crystal Clear Destiny episode, if any of you remember that, as I'm sure you do, where Zoisite created an ice shard thing and sent it at Tuxedo Kamen, but Usagi jumped in the way, or vice versa. No, that's right. But this time it was like huge. Um, and he's about to throw it, but he gets interrupted by a. First, it's a cat. First, it's Artemis. But then we see a crescent shape thing, and it's Sailor V's Crescent Compact. And Sailor Venus is here, and I'm excited, very excited, because all the Senshi are about to come together in the next episode, and flashbacks, and battles, and tears, and awesome things. So that's my review for this episode. Obviously, a very intense, romantic episode. There was a lot of action at the end, which is really cool. Um, I'm just pumped. I always say that, but I'm just pumped. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next 2 weeks, and see you then.